Celebration Company. Happy Tuesday. I hope you're having a great day. Y'all, we are not going to do Table Talk Tuesday today since Mom is not feeling well. The girls wanted to go home early because of the weather, the storms coming in. And so just decided it would be better to not do Table Talk Tuesday. So we're going to do a fun project today. And we are going to make a fun little vintage scene, little vintage looking piece using a vintage bed spring, a rusty one, and this rusty little candle holder, okay, or like little tart pan type tray. We're going to be putting it on top here, and then we're going to have a fun scene on the top. That's my plan. We'll see how that works, but that's the goal. Okay, so when you hop on, say hello, let me know you're watching. Hope everyone's having a great day. We are having a storm right now, so hopefully no issues with, service and all of that. But we are having a little bit of a storm right now. So if y'all hear thunder, you probably won't, but if you do, that's what we're having a storm. So seems to be pretty mild, but there's a little bit of thunder and some rain. All right. Hi, Dale. Hey, Dana. Hi, Lori. Hi, Jamie. Hey, Deborah. Good to see you today. Happy Tuesday, everyone. I hope y'all are having a great day. I've got lots of fun stuff over here that I'm going to just play with, and we're just going to do some fun stuff with this little project. Hi, Jennifer. Thanks for joining today. Good to see you. There's something I was going to say, and I forgot what it was. Oh, here comes the water. Here comes the water in the basement. Y'all, it doesn't take much. It doesn't take much. If it rains hard, it starts seeping in. And so here it comes. Teresa's having some nasty storms. Thank you, Teresa. Mom says she feels like she's doing better today. So hopefully she's doing better. We're going to give it a few days, see, how she's doing. But hopefully she is doing better today. So, hi, Patty. Well, my printer's just made a loud noise. All right, let's get into it, okay? Because I do have to take Griffin supposedly to football practice as long as they don't cancel it. Hi, Patty. Hey, Jeremy. So this Bedspring, we've got these available. These are rusted vintage bed springs, okay? And they are the true cone-like shape. And then this is the 5-inch candle holder. We also have it in a 3 or 4-inch. I think it's a 4-inch. So I'm going to be using the 5-inch today. Hi, Linda. And then I'm going to be using also from our website the little mini flocked Santas. These are also available. They come in a pack of 4. I'm going to be using one of them today. And then I've got all kinds of other things over here. Some bottle brush trees. Some little ornaments, some little mini gifts. I've got some little bows and a bell, just all kinds of different random things. We'll see where this takes us. Okay, so we're not going to do anything to these pieces other than I need to figure out how to attach them. So I want to attach the candle holder to the spring, okay? And you can see that when I do that, it kind of makes it's almost kind of leaning forward. And so I'm wondering if I can't bend this. I don't know if I can or not, but I'm wondering if I can bend that so that it doesn't lean forward as bad. I don't think I am having any success because it's like a really strong, I might have just made it worse. I'm not doing anything, y'all. Okay, what needs to happen is this here. Maybe if I cut that off a little bit. Is that going to work? I think that might work. Okay, let's do this. I'm going to take my bolt cutters and I'm going to cut off just part of this that's sticking up. Golly. Y'all, the bolt cutters are not cutting it. What in the heck is going on? That's some strong metal. That is some strong metal. Wow. So I probably won't be able to do anything to it. So we're just probably going to have to figure something out. Let's see. Where are my... Right here. Very heavy duty. Let's see. Y'all, I'm not having any luck with anything I'm trying right now. So, unless you got some power tools, okay, that worked. All right, so I was able to just get it cut off a little bit. So kind of where I made one of those cuts and then I just sort of bent it. Let's see if that makes it any better. I feel like it makes it a little bit better. Maybe I'm kidding myself. Maybe if I could get a little bit more cut off. Let's see. The reason why I'm trying to cut some of this off is because this piece is sticking up. And it's making that piece cut. It's making my candle holder lean. Okay, that's a little bit better. I can handle that, I think. I think I can handle that. Okay, so in order to adhere this, we're going to do a couple of things. The first thing I'm going to do is decide where I want it. And I'm going to use a little bit of E6000 if I can find some. I may not be able to find any. Here we go. This may not work. This E6000 may not work. Okay, here we go. All So I found 2 spots and that hit the candle holder. I'm going to add the E6000 to those 2 spots and then center this. Okay. So we just added it in the 2 different spots that hit the candle holder. Because not all of that spring does touch the candle holder, okay? Then I'm going to use a little bit of hot glue, and we're going to actually use a piece of ribbon or something like that to help hold this. So the hot glue, I'm just going to kind of put on the top. Let it kind of fold over. Y'all, what I was going to tell you earlier is that today is 15% off all Christmas. So anything that we have on the website that's Christmas, it's 15% off today. And then the other thing that I was going to tell you is that we're having another deal. If you spend $50, you can get a free Celebrate, Create, Cherish. I can't remember how the words are arranged, but for free. And then if you spend an additional $25, then you get a free spool kit, okay, for free. So spend $75, get the tote bag and the spool kit for free. Spend $50, get the tote bag, okay? All right, so the hot glue should hold this on, but it's not quite secure enough. So I'm going to see if I can't find a piece of ribbon or a piece of fabric or something we're going to add for extra stability. Oops. I'm looking for something that's going to kind of blend in with the color of the, so kind of a brown color, like this felt might work. So I'll take my fabric scissors, which are right here. I'm just going to cut like a rectangle. Of this. And I'm going to kind of use it like a piece of tape and just kind of put it on like that to help hold it on. So let's put hot glue all over this. Probably should have my hot glue gun on high, but I don't. And then of course that E6000 is going to set. And that's going to help to really secure this. The hot glue isn't exactly permanent, but that E6000 is going to set and do a whole lot better than the hot glue will. Okay, here we go. I don't think that my attempts to fix the straightness really helped, but whatever. We're going to go with it. Okay, so here's our little base. So now we're just going to decorate this, and we're going to add some stuff to it and make this pretty little scene. So we're going to start with some trees. We're going to use bottle brush trees, and I'm going to keep them white instead of making them green. And we're just going to arrange some bottle brush trees in here, okay? So I'm just going to start gluing them down. And these are going to be in the back so that our scene can be kind of in the front. All right, and I've just got different sizes going on here. You want to make it somewhat you know, a little bit random feeling so that it's not really organized. Wow, Teresa, that's crazy. I hope she was okay. And I'm making sure to put all of this stuff at the top so that when it's sitting, it's almost like, hey, look at me. You know what I mean? Thank you, Lisa. Mom said she's starting to feel better. She's thinking maybe she's, you know, nearing the end. I don't know. But Dad's not quite feeling better yet. We'll see. Trisha went by and saw him yesterday, and she said that they both did not look very good. Okay, so we've got a little grouping of some trees. They look good in there. All right. I know that I want to do snow techs. So I need to decide what all I'm going to put in here before I add the snow techs in the bottom. Sherry, they don't have COVID. Dad's test still has not come back yet, but Mom tested positive for E. coli, and Dad's has not come back yet, so we don't know for sure. So we got to decide what all we're going to do. So I've got this little sled right here that I thought about fitting in here. And then we've got our little Santa. This is available at celebrationcompany.com. I'm going to remove the little hook off the top, I think. So I'm just going to take my precision cutters and remove that little hook. And I'm thinking about putting the little Santa right in there. We'll stack this sled with gifts. So let's go ahead and do that. I've got several little gifts here that we can use. Make sure I got all of them. Okay. So what colors do I want to do? Hi, Gloria. Also, y'all, I did not send out a text message today. I could not get that service to work today. The website was being very problematic. So we can just kind of stack up some gifts. I think I'm going to not use the blue. Thank you, Pam. And I'm just going to randomly glue these on. No, Dee Dee, we do not know where it came from. Wish that we did. But they both got it. They both have the exact same symptoms. And I'm going to go another layer here. So we've got 4 on the bottom and 2 on the top. Carol, so some of them that might have been scheduled might have come through fine. This was one that I was trying to send, and it just would not, the website was just not working. It wouldn't. You have to go through several different steps, and as I was pressing, continue to go on to the next step, it just would not do anything. It just would just sit there and just not do anything. So okay, that's looking cute. And then our little Santa is just going to go right here next to them. So I want to see if I'm going to add some more color to this and what that's going to be. Okay, so that's the next thing I'm trying to decide is, do we want to add, like for instance, a bow to the top of one of the trees? And I think we definitely are going to want to do that. Hey, Jackie. And let's wrap this around and twist this little bow. I just chose to put it on the one in the middle. Linda, here on Facebook, you can just message us here on Facebook. You can also email us at hello@thecelebrationsco.com, whichever you prefer. All right, so we got a little bow. I have all kinds of different things. I'm just trying to figure out what all I want to do. So I don't want to keep it necessarily simple. I've got some little tiny bells. These are from the Dollar Tree that we could add into the tree if we wanted to. Like some of these little gold ones would be cute, I think, in the tree itself. So let's do that on this other tree. I think I'm going to do the gold ones. Hi, Carol. Yay, Jeremy. I can't wait to see him. Okay, I think that's pretty good. I'm mostly just trying to get the front. I'm not real concerned with the back side. So I really want to play with these little ornaments that I've got. I also have some candy canes, which we could always add some candy canes if we wanted to on the sled. Like we could do these here, these little small ones. Thank you, Teresa. I've got these little bitty tiny candy canes, and they've got the little hook on the top, so I can just use my precision cutters and just cut that little hook right off, so you never even know it was there. And we can always add a couple of candy canes like in with the gifts, like that would be kind of cute. Let's see about maybe adding another one. This one's already had the whole thing removed. I'm just going to glue it on. That looks cute. Cody, we don't have any around here. It's not much going on here. Okay, so these are the little ornaments. I've got these, and then I've got some bigger ones that are vintage. This probably isn't going to work, but I really do want it to work. So I'm just going to sort of play with this a minute. Let me just kind of see what happens here. I'm going to just get some of these out. These are the cutest things ever. And see what this is going to look like. I feel like I'm going to like it, but I think I'm going to have to do them later. And I'm thinking about just adding like clusters kind of around. But I've got to do that snow first. So let's do the snow text. Let's make a mess. About to make a mess. All right, so I'm going to pull out the snow text. I'm liable to get it everywhere, y'all. But let's go with it, okay? All right, I'm just going to mix my snow text up. And we're going to cover the bottom with our snow text. So I'm going to just get a big dollop on here. And then we're just going to push it around. Like frosting. And get it around these trees. Pushing it in between the trees. And even covering the wooden base. So just keep Did it, Cody? Thank Thank you, Teresa. You too. All right, I'm going to just push this around, see if I can't get it around this tree. So this is what it's looking like. Okay, let me get another. I'm going to get another popsicle stick so that I can kind of push some of this off and get the back side. Trying to get the back side. Oh no, thank you. It does look pretty with the snow, doesn't it? Okay, let me just smush this around a little. Probably have to add some more. But we're getting it in there. And if it helps, it's kind of easiest to get it down in this one spot, and then I can just sort of mush it around from there. Just kind of move it where it needs to go. And of course, I don't really care if it gets on the trees because I want the trees to be snowy. It does, Linda. I agree. We're getting it. I'm getting it. And of course, you would think that it would be easiest to do this beforehand, but it's really not. And the reason why is because you've got to glue down those trees and you want to get them in place right where you want them. And once you put this snow text down, it's hard to really mess with things. You can see we're using quite a bit of it today. All right. I think that's pretty good. Let's see. I think I want a little bit more. Back in here. Cover up some of those wood bases from the trees. All right. So here's where we're at. Okay, so now we've got to add in our sled. And I don't know for sure if this will, when I add it into the snow text, if it will adhere or not. So if it doesn't and it falls out later, then I can just glue it in later. Okay, but I can't really glue it in right now. So I'm going to use the snow text and just kind of put it into the snow text. And I mean, this is beautiful just like this. We could stop right here. I really am curious about these little balls though. So let me take a look. I feel like I want to add more color to it. What do y'all think? Should I leave it or should I try and add the little balls? We can add some more snow tacks to the trees if you want to. Make them a little bit more snowy. Add a few of the little red and green ornaments. I'm just adding some of this onto some of these smaller, or onto these trees, not the smaller trees, just onto the trees. Okay. All right. So let's see about the ornaments. I'm going to take and cut the little hook off the top. Rosemary, those came from Amazon. So I'm just going to use my precision cutters to cut off that little top so that I've just got these little balls here. And I agree. I like the idea of the red and the green. All right, so I don't know. I'm just gonna stick some in here. Kind of like the gold too. Hot glue that one in. I can't see the red one very well. Let's try here in the front. Maybe adding a few. These are going to be a little hard to do right now because of I can't really glue them down. Let's see here. Let's add, so that's all the red that I have. I'm thinking of doing some more over here, maybe 3 over here. Let me do another gold one. I think that's really cute. That's fun. Okay, I'm glad we did that. I'm glad we did that. The height is making it tip a little bit, or the weight's making it tip a little bit further, I think. So I probably shouldn't add much more weight to the front. And also, when I allow this to dry, I probably need to try and make sure that it's able to dry flat so that the snow text doesn't just all move to the front. Okay, so let's see here. Do I want to add anything else to this? The only other thing that I thought about is, thank you, Laura, is these little lights. But it'd be cute to string them from one tree to the other. If we did the red and the green, or pink and green, whatever that one is. Let's see what that looks like. I'm going to use this right here. That came with something, I'm not sure what. And let's string these on. Red, green, red, green. I don't know, maybe 6 of them. I've tried, Linda, and it's not working. Just won't work. Okay. So we'll need to kind of knot that, but I think that will be really cute. So let's take this, and I'm just going to spread it out where I want my lights. All right, and then I think I'm gonna add a little hot glue to the tip, or the end where it's glued, or where it's coming onto the string. So that we can just kind of glue it right there to the string so it stays in place. Okay. There we go. It would have to be quite a bit of weight to make that fall backwards. I don't know that it would, Nancy. I don't mind it when it's just sitting here, but I just don't want it to dry that way. So I think if I just take and put something up underneath it like that, then it's just going to help it to dry so that the snow text doesn't just fall forward. That's my main issue. All right. So our lights are strung and they're staying in place. So we're just going to string these across from tree to tree. And I think I'm going to have to do this after the snow text dries. Let me show you though. Thank you, Nancy, what that looks like. So I think that's going to be super cute. I like that. But we're going to have to wait for the snow text to dry before we can do that. And some of these have already gotten in the snow text. All right. What do y'all think? Anything else? Does it need anything else? Does it need glitter or should we just leave it? I feel like I want to add glitter. So let me get my chunky glitter. This is the kind that I like. This is the crystal from Hobby Lobby. It's the 1 24th inch and it's sort of chunky. And we're just going to sprinkle this all over, get it onto all of the snow text that we've added. I think it's going to add a little something extra. And then once it dries, we can just kind of knock all of that extra glitter out. So I think we're done. What time is it? Oh yeah, I've got to be done. I've got to be leaving. So there you go. That is how it turns out. I think it turned out super duper cute. And we'll add the little string of lights later after the snow text dries. So cute little spring, a little candle holder, and then just some fun different elements. The little Santa is available at celebrationcompany.com, as well as the snow text, the spring, and the little candle holder is also available at celebrationcompany.com. When you spend $50 today, you'll get a free tote bag. When you spend $75, you'll get a free tote bag and a spool holder kit for free. And all of our Christmas stuff is 15% off today. All right. Everything that's Christmas, it's 15% off. So go and check that out. Today is the day to get your things that you've been wanting. All right. Okay, y'all. I got to go. Thank you so much for joining me. Have a great day. Love y'all. Bye. glad.